If you were neutral on everything and you were optimizing your portfolio for the best return to risk ratio, you would have about 15% of your money in gold or Bitcoin. I mean,
So much is happening in crypto today. Smash the like button, subscribe to Altcoin Daily for daily videos keeping you informed on the entire crypto market. Breaking news, the White House is set to release their digital asset report on Wednesday, this being reported by Bloomberg. In this report, we fully expect the United States to detail and outline their plan for not just Bitcoin, but outline their entire plan for crypto assets and the United States. If you subscribe to our channel, you already know Donald Trump's portfolio, and you actually know 95% of Trump's crypto wallet is Ethereum. But you also know that Donald Trump and his subsidiaries are some of the biggest Bitcoin holders in the world as well. The president's family now owns the 6th largest Bitcoin treasury. So I fully expect Donald Trump to mention Ethereum for the first time in this report. He might outline how the U.S. is going to continue to buy Bitcoin. He might outline how the U.S. is going to buy ETH or accumulate ETH. Smash the like button if you're getting value in today's video. The really interesting part, and I don't see a lot of people reporting on this, we might hear a lot of other crypto names besides just Bitcoin and Ethereum this Wednesday. This comes on the back of the news that U.S. financial firm Mill City Ventures is now set to secure $450 million to kickstart their SWI treasury strategy. What Michael Saylor is doing with Bitcoin, what Tom Lee is doing with Ethereum, Mill City Ventures is doing with SWI. The information on this story that you need to know is this. The company, Mill City Ventures, will purchase tokens via a combination of open market activities, institutional deal flow, and a negotiated agreement with the SWI Foundation. Stephen McIntosh, the chief investment officer at Mill City, says that this comes at a pivotal time as institutional interest in crypto and the rise of AI converge. The SWI blockchain offers the performance and infrastructure needed to meet the demands of both sectors. Quote, "We believe that SWI is well positioned for mass adoption with the speed and efficiency institutions require for crypto at scale, plus the technical architecture capable of supporting AI workloads while maintaining security and decentralization." A big win for SWI today. It's really interesting how bullish things are looking for not just Bitcoin, not just Ethereum, not just SWI, but a whole host of quality altcoins. Wild day for corporate crypto treasuries. Yes, what Michael Saylor started with his public company with Bitcoin, we're seeing a whole host of companies do with different altcoins. $1 billion into Tron, $500 million into BNB, $450 million into SWI, $2 billion in new capital plans in just one day. Hey, attention crypto traders, now is the best time to start trading crypto. The markets for crypto look as good as they ever have been, and volatility is opportunity. If you sign up with some of our partners linked below, for instance, WeX, 20% deposit bonus, VIP to instantly. This comes with a lot of perks and up to $30,000 in welcome and trading bonuses, all with the code altcoin linked below. We linked a few different exchanges below. Remember, whether the market goes up or down, if you trade crypto, you can make money. Think about how different things are in the market today than when you first got in. Now, I know a lot of people have gotten in the last couple months to a year, but I know a large part of our audience have been involved in crypto maybe 3 years, 7 years, 10 years. Stablecoins are going parabolic. Think about how different things are. PayPal continues to double down. think about how different things are. This time is different, and Bitcoin has a lot more upside to go, in my opinion.
If you really just look at what's happened over the last 5 to 7 years, is Bitcoin essentially went from a contrarian trade to a consensus trade. Everyone now, for the most part, is convinced that this thing is going to be around for a long time. And now what you see is Wall Street, who really was kind of ignoring it or trying to stiff-arm Bitcoin, has now said, wait a second, let's open up the doors and let's embrace this thing because they figured out how to make money. And so you're seeing Bitcoin put into the Wall Street wrappers. First, you saw it with the ETFs. Now you're seeing it with public companies. You also have heard people announce things like Bitcoin and real estate funds. I think you're going to continue to see Wall Street take Bitcoin and put it in every single corner of the traditional financial system because ultimately Bitcoin brings volatility. Bitcoin brings financial return in a way that they're not used to seeing. And so I think that Bitcoin is something that is going to bring more customers, more assets, and more profits for these Wall Street institutions. And that's their job, is to go figure out how to grow their business, and Bitcoin can help them do that.
And what's really interesting to me is to see very high profile, high net worth individuals that people look towards and follow to kind of, how do I think about the market? They're saying the quiet part out loud now, something we certainly advocate, but billionaire Ray Dalio urges investors to allocate 15% of their portfolio to gold and Bitcoin. And we have the audio. Smash the like button because I'm going to share the audio with you right now.
If you were neutral on everything, in other words, you didn't have a point of view, and you were optimizing your portfolio for the best return to risk ratio you would have about 15% of your money in gold or Bitcoin. Again, I want to say, what is the issue here? The issue is the devaluation of money. If you have that issue, and times when it occurred, which was in times of excess debt and geopolitical problems, just go back and study history, study the British pound, study the Dutch guilder, study this. You would find that in all such periods, also like the 70s, it's an effective diversifier. So if you had no view, you would have about 15% in that portfolio as a hedge against the other. I hope that that's somewhat of a guide.
No, it's fascinating.
And by the way, this PayPal news, PayPal introduces Pay with Crypto to let U.S. merchants accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and more for payments. This is not just great for Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is great for a lot of interesting altcoins. The new service is poised to give merchants access to a $3 trillion market and a worldwide network of over 650 million crypto users. PayPal had to adapt. They had to adapt. The rollout is planned for the coming weeks and is expected to reduce cross-border transaction fees up to 90%. Anthony Scaramucci, in this clip, perfectly articulates how things are changing. The way that people used to think about Bitcoin and crypto is no more. There's a new way to think about it, and we're seeing this play out more and more. This is how I think the future will be.
Ultimately, what we see is the evolution of Bitcoin from being sort of a tech asset tied to the Mag 7 or tied to the NASDAQ to something that's more akin to digital gold. And as that starts to happen, and I predict that will happen as wallets expand. Let's say there's roughly 300 million or so wallets for Bitcoin right now. Imagine a world where there's a billion wallets, a billion holders. The volatility should dampen. That happened in Microsoft. That happened in things like Google over a 20-year period of time. And so you could see a scenario where more wallets, lots of institutions in the mix, long-term holders, dampening volatility, and then you have this positive flywheel where the volatility is dampened by long-term holders who are owning it in size, and so therefore that reinforces the idea that other long-term holders should come in. I guess the big thing you have to ask yourself, is Bitcoin an investment or is it an asset class? If it's an investment, then $1 to $3 trillion, that sort of makes sense. That's akin to a Mag 7 market capitalization. But if it's an asset class, then it should trade to closer to where gold is, and I think gold's, $22, $23 trillion right now.
Bitcoin right now just below 120. I'm bullish. Ethereum right now almost hit 4K, and we're consolidating near the all-time highs. I expect this to grind up. Like, things are moving quickly. Michael Saylor is predicting that Bitcoin becomes the largest asset in the world in the next 48 months. What does he know?
It is the most powerful force in the world right now. It's growing nearly 60%. It's become the eighth largest asset in the world. It's about to become the largest asset in the world in the next 48 months.
Hey, make sure you subscribe to our channel, join our team. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. We put out one video every day, keeping you informed. We have for the last 7-8 years. Our audience makes money in crypto. And we really are seeing acceleration on crypto at every front. Nation states, ETFs, treasury giants, and yet we're still hovering near inflation-adjusted all-time highs. By all metrics, we should already be past 200K.
It has to do with all the adoption happening in the world today. You have countries adopting Bitcoin. You have the ETFs, which are just taking in a massive amount of capital and eliminate the bottleneck for moving capital into Bitcoin from legacy markets. There is no more barrier. And then you have companies like Strategy and now Blockstream that are also moving into the treasury space. And Strategy alone has accumulated 600,000 plus Bitcoin. So, just like doing quick back of the napkin math, it just doesn't seem possible that we are still hovering around inflation adjusted Bitcoin all-time highs from 4 years ago at 100 to 120,000. We should be well over 200,000